Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a good day. I am going to share with you a cute little project today. This is what we are going to be making. It is a little Christmas tree box ornament. And if you were watching me last year, you'll know that I made something very similar to this last year using a different bundle. But I had a customer who was interested in making last year's ornaments, and I wanted to give her a way to make the ornaments with this year's bundle because last year's bundle is no longer available. If you go back to my instructions, they are different dimensions than they are for this particular tree. I always design my projects around currently available stuff, and so the measurements are a little bit different, so I want to be able to give you those. This little box holds 3 Hershey's Kisses. I'll show you that in a moment. And I think it's like fairly easy to make. There's not a lot to it, but I will have a project sheet for you that will go out in the email, via email on Saturdays. So you must be on my email list to get this project sheet. But I will have photos and a diagram for you on that page so that it makes it really easy for you to make. So last year's bundle had a lot of different die overlays that you could put on here. This one is much more a stamped one. Now I did put this garland on there. So there's 3 trees that you can stamp. There's this one. There is this one here. And then there's this one here with the stars. And I chose to make mine all in green, but you can do different shades of green. You can do different colors. Like I also did this one in cloud cover, kind of like a blue spruce one. And we will, I'll be making the one today in blue spruce, just because it shows up better on camera. But the color is cloud cover, but I kind of think this kind of looks more like a blue spruce type color. So you can do them in whatever color you want. I think these are just a great little favor that you could put on a Christmas table. Have everyone have like you could put a little nameplate on them if you want. There's a lot of room here on the side, so you could put like a little label with each person's name on there. And you can use these right on your Christmas tree and they'll look really cute. You can theme them to whatever color you want. So I think this will be a great little project. The other thing is we're going to be using the pine tree trimmings bundle, and I'm just going to pop out here in the back here. I wanted to grab the price of that bundle because I think last year's bundle was much more expensive. And this one is, I'll give you the US price. This bundle here is only $33.25. So it is really a much more reasonable bundle in terms of pricing. So I think I can't remember what last year's bundle was, but this is like at a lower price point. You can also use the mini cut and emboss machine to run the dies through. We will do that. I do want to mention one thing before we go any further. Tomorrow is World Card Making Day, and Stampin' Up! Is holding an event tomorrow afternoon. It's just an hour event. The registration for that closes in just a few hours. I think it's 2 p.m. Mountain Time the registration closes, so that's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't already registered, just go to the stampinup.com website, and there's a banner that scrolls on top. If you're on a laptop or a computer, there's a banner that scrolls up top. There's about 5 or 6 of them right now. If you just click forward till you find the word World Card Making Day 1, and then click on the little button, and that will take you to the registration page. I do recommend that you register because Stampin' Up! Says that they will be giving us a small gift. I don't know what that gift is. I mean, it could be anything. So, but if you are not registered, you won't get the gift. If you can't make the live World Card Making Day presentation, then you can watch the recording. It will be available afterwards. So just make sure that you have already registered if you're at all interested. We are making this year. There was a kit that was involved. I don't know if I still have my World Card Making Day flyer here. Oh yeah, here it is. There it is. Now it's blocking my face, but I think the kit is still available, even if you won't be able to get it in time for tomorrow. But this is a super cute kit that comes with a little card holder you can see in the back there, and you get to make 10 cards. And so I will be at the event tomorrow. I hope you will be too. All right, I think we should just jump in because I'm already late, and let's just get started and let's make this cute little box. And let me zoom in so you don't see my messy desk. I can pretend that everything is nice and neat and tidy. All right, let's take a look at these little boxes. They just open like this, and I did size them so that they were an ornament. Now, I could have sized them if I was not putting this little knot on here. That helps keep the cover on. So if I weren't doing that, I would change one of the measurements. I might even put that in the project sheet. If you're turning it into an ornament, use this. If you just want to use it as a box, then you could, the inside measurement would just be just a teeny tiny bit different, so it would not be as loose. It requires this in order to kind of keep it tight, but if I do it with the other dimensions, then it's too tight. So it's kind of like for this, I think most people are just going to make it as an ornament anyway, because they're just so cute just to have, and that way everyone can hang their little ornament, and they can replace the stuff. You know, they can eat the kisses, they can put kisses back in there, they can hang it on the tree with kisses or without kisses. So I think it's just kind of a cute design. All right, so we're gonna make one in this color, cloud cover, just because it shows up better on camera. I like to do that if I can at all possible do that. So we're gonna start off with a scoring board. And we're gonna do the sides of the box. So let me just see. Okay, there's two different strips. We'll start off, we're gonna make the outside or the top of the box first. This is 7.5 by 1 1/4. And we'll start off by putting that 1 1/4 inch side up at the top. And we'll just score it at the 1 inch mark all the way down. Then I'm going to turn it so that my skinny scored segment is facing up. And then I need my dimensions, which I have on a post-it note way over here. Okay, let's bring those over. Don't want to get them wrong. So 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 7 1/4. Okay. That's what it looks like. I will have a diagram for you, so don't worry if you can't see the little lines. Then the other piece, and I'm making this as an ornament. I will be putting a hanger on it, so I do want to use these dimensions. So this one is 7 1/8 by 1 1/4. Put that short side up at the top again and score at the 1 inch mark. We'll put that short scored segment up, and then we'll score at 2 5/8, 5 1/4, and 6 7/8. Okay, looks basically almost the same as the other one, just with slightly different dimensions. All right, move those over to the side. Let's, at this juncture, I do need to cut up these strips, but let's do the die cutting for the trees next, so that they're ready for the strips as soon as I have them ready. So this always is dusty, no matter what, even if I've just dusted it. Okay, this is the mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. And we're going to die cut 2 trees, one for the top and one for the bottom. I have experimented with this particular die set, and for the ease of everything, I find it's easier to die cut first and then stamp. And that way, it's just easier with the die cutting too, because I don't have to align anything perfectly. So it's going to make your job faster if you die cut first. So we're going to start off with talking about my machine. My machine's a little tight. The recommended plate is this #1 plate for the bottom. But since my machine is tight, I'm going to go to the light gray plate, the #3 plate, and put that on the bottom instead. Kind of depends how your machine is, but if your machine's a tight machine like mine, then just switch to the light gray plate and you will be much happier. I've got a little piece of cloud cover. Now this is just a little bit wider than 3 inches. And then we're going to take the tree and we'll just kind of align it like that. And then we'll put the second cutting plate on top. And we're going to run this through. Okay, so we've got tree #1. We still have to stamp it. And then we'll do the same. We're going to just flip this over here. And see, I don't have to align this around any stamping, so it doesn't matter if it's a little crooked, or because it's, that's going to make things a lot faster for you for making these ornaments. Okay, so we've got our second tree, and while we're here, I am also going to cut my little star. Now there is a star that comes with this, but if you don't want to die cut the little stars, I'm just gonna grab, where are you guys? Oh, I just don't want to come out. The stars, this is our little punch bundle. This is from a different bundle called a Little Cheer. This is the punch pack, and it also has a star of almost the same size. So if you don't want to die cut your stars, I would get this little punch bundle. It's so cute. I did a little tea light holder with it earlier on in the season, and so you'll have another 3D project for it. But I love having little punches. But I'm going to just show you that you can absolutely die cut the star too. I'm using silver foil here. Silver and gold foil is great for adding little accents to your projects. So there it is, little star. And when you die cut it, it kind of also, I don't know, has a little bit of character, because some of the little, when it presses in, it kind of creates an impression as well. So, but punching it, I think it's just so much faster and easier. All right. I am just going to pop that away. All right, let's bring these in real quick. We still have to deal with these strips, but I'm going to turn this into a blue spruce. So I'm going to use this stamp set or stamp here, and I'm going to use another one of our new ink colors, Secret Sea. We'll just ink this up. And when you're stamping after the fact, you want to kind of, I have a hair stuck to that, that's not good. You want to kind of hover over top like that. If you have trouble seeing a light color, just grab yourself a piece of black cardstock or a dark cardstock, and then you'll be able to kind of see a little bit better where you're aiming. I try and line up the tree trunk first, and then I kind of go down from there. See? It's not that hard to get it lined up. Just make sure, I think you're standing up and looking straight down over top. That really helps when you're doing it. And I just tree trunk first because it's a little asymmetrical here. So you want to get that tree trunk lined up, and then I kind of look at the top to make sure I haven't gone over crooked. This one might be a teeny tiny bit crooked, but not bad. That's still pretty good. Okay, let's move that off to the side. All right, now my trees are ready to go, and we're gonna prep the sides. So let's just grab, I'm gonna grab my longer side first, and you can use, I like to use sharp bladed scissors, so you can either use ones like this or like this. We're gonna cut this little corner square away. I'm gonna do it on a bit of an angle, and I'm gonna go a little bit more than 45 degrees because this is gonna help when we are putting it together so that the tabs don't overlap. Then I'm going to come along here. This would be 45 degrees if I kind of cut it like, presuming it was kind of a square. I want to go just a little bit more on that one. And then between these two larger segments, I want to do an even deeper angle, like, or a V. I'll show you. See how that one's like even bigger. And then this end one, we're going to just a little bit more than 45 degrees. And we'll do the same thing with the other strip. Just a teeny tiny bit of an angle there. A little bit more than 45 degrees on that one. A little bit more than 45 degrees on this one. Also, I'm going to have this diagram on the project sheet, so you'll be able to see it. And if you don't do that, it will still be okay. Your tabs will just overlap a little bit, and that's okay, just as long as there's not too much stress on the box. I like to lay my tabs like right flat down so that they don't overlap if possible. And then this one at the end is just a little bit more than 45. Okay. So those are prepped, and I'm just going to move that off to the garbage. Okay, and let's grab our bigger strip. So with our bigger strip, you can pierce the hole after the fact if you want to, but if you want to do it like more easily, you can do it beforehand. And I have that, we'll have that marked on the diagram for you. So to find which segment to pierce, you're going to look for the two longer segments, and that is going to be up between the two. That's going to be the top of your tree. You're just going to eyeball the center and just give it a little pierce, and that will be where your thread will go in. Okay, so let's do the top of the box first. So let's fold over these bottom tabs while this is flat, and you can reinforce them with the bone folder and just flatten them again. First, we're going to do this side segment. Let's put this to the side for a second. Do the little side segment. And we can't do this flat like we do with our rectangular boxes, but I'm just going to kind of hold this up in the air. And I just like to make sure that the edge of my cardstock and the score line are aligned, and then I give it a little press. Okay, so then I'm just going to fold these flat, and this is where you can see if you've cut enough cardstock away, none of these should overlap. If they overlap at all, you can just kind of snip a little bit more cardstock away. Like I can kind of maybe do a little bit more, just so when I glue them, the tabs down to the tree, there's like no overlap on the tabs. Okay, so then we're going to take one of the trees, doesn't matter which one, and this particular one I want to glue the bottom tab first, and then we'll do all the other two sides. I'm going to glue it right along the edge here, down here at the bottom. Of course, there's the tree trunk, so I'm going to ignore the tree trunk. So it's going to be like very close to the edge right down there. I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. So we'll just put glue on that one bottom segment, and we'll slide that in. And I'm just going to kind of take a look, make sure it's centered. And then once that looks good, I'm just going to tip that up, and then you can see my little fingers peeking out. Just going to press on that seam. If you have one seam secured when you're gluing the other ones, it's so much easier to put it together because it's not going to shift around on you. It's going to be anchored on that one seam. Okay, that looks good. And then we're going to glue the other two sides to the back of the tree. So whatever color you choose for the front, I like to choose for the sides so that it kind of blends in. And then we're just going to come down on here, and you just want to make sure that the top right there is centered and it's not pushing over to one side or the other. And you can just take your finger or your bone folder, especially right here at the point, you can kind of press on the seam to make sure that it's nicely stuck to your project. So there is the lid. And now we're going to do the bottom. Let's do these little seams. Okay, works the same way. We're going to do the side seam first. And just make sure you take the time. The glue is wet for a little while, so just make sure you align it. I want to make sure that the edge is flat here, that my cardstock is lining up nicely. And then I'm just going to press this for just a few seconds just to make sure it is stuck in place. Okay, that looks good. And then we're going to do the same thing we did for this one, except this time we're going to go up just a teeny tiny bit from the bottom, like a 1/16 of an inch. So we're not gluing it right against the bottom, we're just doing that one bottom seam. I'll show you in a moment once I've glued it, but it's about a 1/16. And then I'm just going to press down on that seam. Make sure it's stuck. Okay, let's move this back. You can kind of see there's a little bit of a gap between the edge and this piece here. Okay, and when you look at this one, it's flush with the bottom. It's because the bottom is a little smaller, right? So I'm just trying to center it so that this one's centered on here. I kind of I took the measurements off the biggest ones for this one, and then I made the bottom to fit inside. And this looks good here, so I don't have to trim anything off the seams. And we're just going to put glue along here. And then again, we're just going to bring this down and just make sure this is pointing straight up, that your point is not off to one side. You can press it like this, and then you can take your bone folder and just give it a nice little press on the inside. And I'm just pressing down on all my seams and making sure that they are stable. And then hopefully, okay, so these two right now, it's not bad. Maybe I don't need to give the second measurement. It's a little tighter if I change one dimension, but this would be fine just as a little box as well if you don't want to add the hanger. I want to show you how to add the hanger. My stamping friend Linda sent me these. These are floss threaders used for, flossing, but they make really great threaders for projects. Now, I'll tell you a little trick, because if you're going to try and get this little end up this little thing from the inside, you will drive yourself absolutely crazy, like I did last night. And I'm like, this is just not great. So instead, we are going to go on the loop end, and I'm going to pinch it down, like get really close to the end so there's just a teeny tiny bit sticking out, and then I'm going to stick that in the hole from the top. And that is just so much easier. And now I have my little loops sitting right here. Okay, so let's let that sit for a second. I'm going to grab some linen thread. I thought linen thread would look a little bit better than the red and white on a blue cloud cover tree. I'm going to take about 7 inches of twine. Sorry, this is linen thread. I don't have that on my supply list, but you can look it up if you need linen thread. It's kind of an old standby, and it's nice because it kind of has like a crumb cake type color to it. So I'm just going to take that 7-inch thread and bring the two ends together, and we're going to do I'll do a loop, and then I'll put both ends through. So we're kind of creating a little knot that is going to go, whoops, yes, that's fine. Wasn't pretty, but it's getting there. Okay, so you have like a little knot. Oops, it's not showing. There we go. It's a little knot down at the bottom. Okay, so then what we want to do is we want to pull this loop through the top. So I'm just going to kind of narrow this down. I'm going to put this inside my loop and pull it through with the floss threader. And just pick yourself up a package of these for your crafting purposes, or maybe pick one up. I mean, it comes with all of these, right? So you can share them with your friends. If you don't know what they are, I left the Amazon link down below, so you can get it. And okay, so now I've got this looped, and then we'll grab some kisses. About 3 kisses works well. Okay, they just fit in there like that. And then, you know, Kisses, Hershey's Kisses has so many different flavors. I don't think their holiday flavors are out yet, but they always have peppermint kisses. So like go find some really sweet colored kisses for the season if you're making these. And, you know, maybe pick some favorite flavors. I think they have, last year they had sugar cookie and the peppermint kisses, and I know they have others as well. So so let's just glue this little star right up at the top, and you want to, oops, okay, yes, you want to make sure, I don't know, I always want to glue it to the outside of the box. I guess it really wouldn't matter if it's on the back of the box, but I'm just going to glue mine to the front. This is the little silver foil. Let me turn this like this. The little silver foil star we cut earlier. And then these I thought would work really well because they pick up the color from the surrounding colors. These are called holographic resin dots, and I think they look kind of nice. So let me I'm gonna use my take your pick tool, and I kind of created a pattern on this one that I kind of like, so I'm gonna replicate it. So we're gonna grab the biggest one, and sometimes this putty thing works really well and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna grab a large dot. Oh, everything's sticking to me. I hate it when I have a hair caught in my adhesive. And I know that would drive my mom crazy. All right, so I got a little, let me grab this. Oh, come on. Sometimes these little dots, I think sometimes they're just easier to pick up because they're like big. Okay, so let's put a dot here and another big dot here, and then another big dot up here. So just use your fingers. No tool necessary. All right. Okay. So I think that looks kind of cute. Like either one. It just, you know, they're just easy to use. And I think what I do like about these is they look a little bit more. They're a little bit rounder than our traditional ones. So these would be really good on a 3D object. They'd be a little harder to send in a card because they've got a little bit more curvature, a little bit more depth to them. So nice to use them on a 3D project where that does not matter because you're not going to be mailing them flat, right? So here are the two kind of blue spruce ones. Put some of this stuff away so it's not hanging out. I did all the garden green ones with red and white baker's twine. That's also still available in the Stampin' Up! Store. We've had that for a while. It is not, I don't think it's in a catalog, but it is an online exclusive now. So for this little one, we do have a little die. This one right here. I just cut 3 of these. And I did one going up this way, one like this, and then I cut this one to 4, and then I just did that last little stretch up there. So you need about 2.5. You could also just use that 3 bump one and just kind of put it next to them. I kind of overlapped here and here. So that's just very, very easy to add a little garland on there without too much trouble, or just like throw a bunch of little embellishments on there. Maybe you have extra embellishments that are hanging out or some packages that you need to use up. Just throw them on here, and that way you can use up different colors. Like I think this would look really cute with a bunch of different colored gems as well. You know what? I'm just looking over here. If you want to be colorful, these ones also would work nicely. These are the delightful decorative dots. So this would like work well on a green background here, and just kind of scatter some with different colors. So if you're looking for different ones, or rhinestone gems are just like really pretty with the rhinestones, you could color them with Stampin' Blends, right? So it's just a very easy project. There are 3 kisses in there. They're all down at the bottom. I wonder if we could put a 4th one in there. See, like even 4 might work, depending on how you arrange them. 3 or 4, see? There. If you shake them down to the bottom, then you get like a little extra space up at the top that you can add an extra kiss in. There. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Now that wasn't hard, right? Like I think we could make a bunch of those and not go too crazy. You just kind of do everything kind of assembly line style. You get everything ready. You put on your favorite new series on Netflix, and then you just sit there and just cut them all up and make them as little Christmas gifts. I was trying to see, I wanted to, I didn't do this last night. I'm just gonna grab to see if I have like a bag or something where we could put these in. Let's try this little one here and see if we can just grab one of these. I always like to see if, you know, we can package them up right. Okay. So, straightening out the bag so you can't see this. Oh yeah, this would look cute. Okay, I will make sure that I put this on YouTube afterwards, the link to this little bag. So doesn't that look cute? If you want to package them up, like if you're doing craft fairs or something like that. I know I've never done a craft fair, but I know if I did one, I'd probably have one sample box sitting out so people could see it. And then I would package them all up so people couldn't touch them, because it's paper and people don't always have clean hands, right? But this, I think, would be really a cute way to package this up. And so what I would do, it's not a super tall bag. I just folded it over, and you would just like want to do like maybe a little bit of packing tape or a little bit of dry runner adhesive or double-sided tape just on the back there, so you can fold it down and then package it up like that. And that would be really cute. A little way to gift these, you know. It makes it more of a gift if you put it in a little cellophane package, right? So I will, after I'm done here, I'm going to add that to my YouTube video, and I'll put it on my project sheet too, so that if you're looking at this afterwards, then you can find it more easily. All right. Well, it's a new Stampin' Up year. We finally made it to October 1st. And I do want to mention we have a phenomenal starter kit special right now. We've never had one this good. And I'm not just saying that, like, I don't think you've ever been able, I think there was once we had a low priced starter kit, but you didn't get very much product in that starter kit. So if I had to compare the two, this one is better. I would have to go back and look in my archives. There was once, I think, where you could join, but you didn't get very much product for your stuff. So right now you can join Stampin' Up and get the starter kit for only $35, and you still get $125 worth of product for that $35. And then on top of that, you get free shipping. So it is a great deal. Or if you really want, if you can't decide on the products you want in your starter kit and you want to get more than $125 worth of product, they have option 2, which is pay the normal $99, but you get $189 worth of product. So with either kit, you get $90 in free product. But having to only pay $35 to get the starter kit and join Stampin' Up, it is phenomenal. I've already had 4 people join my team so far this month. So, I mean, and it's only the 3rd. So it is a really great deal. I hope you will think about it. when you join Stampin' Up, you get to be part of my Bee Stampers team. You also get to be part of the wider Stampin' Up community. You will be able to access the Stampin' Up website. Right now, we have a pre-order for online exclusives that won't be available for customers until November. So if you're interested in signing up, you can put pre-order products on your starter kit. So if you are interested and you don't already know what you're going to order and you want some more options, this I would say that none of the stuff in the pre-order are like fall holiday, winter holiday related. We're talking about more into the spring. This is what the online exclusives are. But if you want to, I can send you a PDF. You just need to reach out to me and I will send it to you. Only available for a demo pre-order right now or to put on your starter kit. So there's just like a lot of great reasons to get the starter kit right now. It's just like a very easy way to get a discount on your future purchases too. So once you've got the starter kit, you get a discount of 20% on all your orders, and you still get to earn Stampin' rewards on your orders. So I think it's like a no-brainer. I signed up not quite 20 years ago. In January, it will be 20 years that I have been with Stampin' Up. And you don't have to do what I do. You don't have to do classes. You don't have to teach. You don't have to have a YouTube channel. You can be a hobbyist. You can be your very best customer, your only customer if you want, and just enjoy crafting and being able to get your supplies at a discount. So think about it. If you have questions, reach out to me. If you do want to, I do have a bit of a frequently asked questions page. If you go to my blog, cubiesquest.com/join, you can see the answers to those questions. And if you have any questions at all, you can email me at brendaqstamps@gmail.com and I will get those answered for you. All right. Thank you for letting me say all that. I just think the starter kit is such a great deal. I will be talking about it all month long. You have till October 31st to get the deal. All right, if you have made it this far and you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you will do so. I go live every Friday with, usually it's a 3D project. It's usually a unique project. And then on Saturdays, I send out a project sheet for that. So make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel so you get reminders of when I'm going live. Give me a thumbs up. Share my project if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends. And thank you so much for being here today. I am going to say hello to all of you. I've been hearing the comments pop up. I try not to look because I get distracted. And that way we can leave all the comments right till the end. Good morning, Chris and Mary and Tina. Hello, Nancy and Ellie and Ver Blue and T and A Word Matters. Good morning. And she says, where it is much too nice out to be this close to Christmas. Right, it is beautiful this morning. We went for a walk. It was a little cooler this morning, but it was still beautiful. All right. Oh, and Adelaide's from Germany. And hello, another Mary. We always seem to have a few Marys. That's awesome. Chris says, this is adorable. Can't wait to try it. Awesome. Word Matter says it's adorable. Debbie says, good morning from South Dakota. Hello, Karen. We have got 2 Karens here. Whoa, 3 Karens in a row. Wow. I love that. Hello, Barb. And Barb says it's her first time joining the live. Well, thank you for being here. And we also have Birgit from Germany. How nice. All right. Hello, Linda. Nice to see you. I don't think you've been on for a while. I'm glad you joined us today. Hello, Connie from North Carolina. Karen says she loves all my projects. Well, thank you. Martha says she loves the ornament. Awesome. Karen said, oh, they would make great gift tags as well. Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. That would be nice tied to a gift, or like either tied to the side of a gift bag or on top of a wrapped gift. That would be really cute. Love that idea. And Martha was able to get on my channel this time. That's great. Martha said you could also use a piece of string, silver or gold, and put your sequins or beads on it and thread it through your tree. Yeah, you could. You know, these trees could be decorated in so many ways, and I did it probably in, I don't know. I kind of like the clean and simple look, so I mean, it's there's just many more ways that you could like really take this to the next level. You know, I'll give you the box and you go to town. I know there's so many of you that are so good at decorating and adding things and making it all look like it fits together. That's not me. I kind of go to a more clean and simple style, and I love seeing what other people do though. Like it just, sometimes the samples people send me, I'm just like blown away how next level you have taken my project. That is very cool. Hello, T. Hello, Linda. She says, so cute. Chris says, very nice treat box. Hello, Mommy Roo. Linda said a sticker could be cute on the back to seal it up. Yeah, you could if you're worried. Oh, you're talking about the little bag. Yes, you could do like a little sticker on the back of here, to, you know, a self-made one, or one that you buy, you know, and then you just add that like a little seal for the back of the this little cellophane bag. I think that would be really cute. I always, you know, want to take the things to the next level. So if you have a way to package them up, then for different situations that would work. If you're just going to be at home, you don't need to package them up. You can just put these on the table. You could make a different color for every person, decorate them different for each person, or all the same so it looks nice on your table and is all themed, but just like very, very cute, right? All right, let's keep going. Shelly says, so cute. Love the tree. Look forward to the project sheet. Fair Blue says, simply wonderful idea or table placement idea. Such adorable trees. Karen asked if Chris is ready to join. You know what? To be honest, like when I first started stamping, I was a customer for 3 years before I became a demonstrator. I was kind of supporting my demonstrator friend and being part of her club, and then she wasn't doing the club going forward. And I was like, you know, talking about, oh, so-and-so should be a demo and so-and-so should be a demo. And then I was like, I should be a demo. But I wasn't even thinking about teaching at that point, although I loved it. And I already at that point, I was like, ooh, how can I make this even better and more fun? And I already loved, you know, pop-ups very early on, and the 3D environment. I fell in love with that very quickly. But I was a customer for a full 3 years. And then I was like, you know what? This would be really cool if I could get a discount on my products. So, you know, it's going to take different people different amounts of time, and some may never sign up. But I just feel like do what's best for you. And that's what I will tell my customers. If they would like to join, please go ahead and join. I'm happy to have you on my team. I've had, people on my team for over 10 years, and not all of them. I have one person that I think has breached the 10-year mark, because I only really started to become more business oriented about 10 years ago, and right before we moved up to Massachusetts. And but it should never feel forced, right? It should be like, oh yes, I would like to get a discount. Oh yes, I do want to know what's going on with Stampin' Up! Before customers do. Yes, I want to pre-order early. There's a lot of advantages to it, but it has to feel right for you too. So take your time, and we'll be here whether you're a customer, a follower, or a team member. Okay, let's keep going. Martha said, love watching your show today. First time she was able to get onto it. Well, I'm glad it worked today. And I know, Martha, you are over on the West Coast, so it is much harder. Normally I aim for 10 a.m. Eastern, but I've been terrible about being on time, just because life, and I have a time management problem. I think I try. I always have a lot of things on the go, and I don't sit down and map my day very well, and then I get distracted, and I end up getting sucked into other projects. Like a project that we're doing on the house right now is consuming a lot of my time, and so pretty soon I haven't set myself strict guidelines, and then that time just gets sucked up, and then I'm late. So I hate that, but I'll try and do better. Okay, that was an aside too. Okay, Martha said she got the bundle with the Christmas tree, and looking forward to making this. Awesome. Oh, speaking of which, I don't know where my little, aha. Okay, so remember last week, not this Tuesday, but last Tuesday, remember this card with the little pull to release candy, right? That is made with the same bundle, right? So both of these are made with that same bundle, so you could give them together, kisses and mini M&Ms, right? So this is another cool project that you can make with the pine tree trimmings bundle. Thank you for reminding me about that, because that is another project that I have made recently. Berkey asked a great question. She asked, if you put them on the table, can they stand, or do they have to lay flat? They can stand. Now, if they are empty, they are going to blow over if you walk by. But if you have some kisses in them, and there's just enough cardstock on either side that and this is not a great example, but like they can stand up. So it does look nice. You could have them lay flat, but you can, if you've got a little bit of weight in here, it does allow them to kind of sit. They're not like, it's not like 100% solid. If it bothered you too, you could also just cut the tree trunks off, but I don't think you need to do that. And then it's nice because it's also an ornament down the road for people to hang on their tree, and get the kids involved, have them decorate up the front with little gems and things like that. That would be fun for them. Chris says, thanks for the advice. You're an excellent teacher, Brenda. You're welcome. And I hope you do whatever is best for you, Chris. And T is on my team, and she says Brenda is an excellent team leader, and she says, I'm on our team, so I might be biased. Yes, you are biased, but no. It's all good. There are a bunch of people on here today on my team. Some of you are followers, some of you are customers, and some of you are on my team, and you are all welcome here. And I'm honored when someone joins my team. But you know, I've had long time customers, and like each time there's a join offer, I was like, you especially would benefit from being on my team because you're placing large orders and you could be getting a discount. And then at some point, they might sign up, or sometimes they don't, but at least they have the opportunity. And I think this one's a great one to kind of dip your toe in the water. And the other thing is, like, sometimes people think, well, if I do this now and I don't like it, or I don't want to continue on, and I drop, then I can never do it again. And that's not true either. Stampin' Up, if you drop, you can sign back up again. Like, it's not like they won't stop you. So it's not like if you do it now and it doesn't work out that you can't do it again in the future. I just had that question from a former team member, and so yes, you are welcome to sign up again if you've been on my team before and you want to rejoin. You are welcome to do that. All right. Well, I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. I will send out the project sheet tomorrow. And then next Friday, I will not be here. I'm going to be up in Canada, celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving with my parents-in-law and our son. He's also going to be up in Canada with his girlfriend. His girlfriend lives kind of close, not super close, but close enough to my in-laws that we will be seeing them at some point too. So I hope I'll still be here on Tuesday, but I hope you all have, if you're from Canada, happy early Thanksgiving to all of you. I get to have 2 Thanksgivings this year, so that's kind of cool. We don't always go up for Canadian Thanksgiving, but we will be going up this year. So I probably won't have a video for next week, but I will probably do, I might do like go back and pull up all the holiday projects that I've done and kind of do an email so you can see all the things in one email, and you know, kind of get an idea. Like, maybe you want to do a project for Christmas, then we can kind of look at all of them and see all the project sheets on one page. So you will need to be on my email list to see that, but I think that might be kind of a fun thing to do for next Friday when I am gone. All right, everyone, thank you so much for being here. I will see you on 2 weeks from today with another new 3D project for all of you. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.